Guys, I am recording on this mic, I'm recording on my camera, and I am also going live over here on Instagram just to capture a portion of this podcast. I filmed episode 1 last week, and then I'm filming episode 2 today. I filmed this while my 1-year-old is sleeping and while my 5-year-old is watching a movie. This is her screen time chunk for the day. She doesn't nap anymore, so and she's really good about chilling over there while I do this. So I have some notes right here that I will be discussing in today's podcast. Today's podcast episode is kind of, it's like 3 different topics. None of this will be going in the final podcast. I'm just talking in the Instagram live right now. But if you know, in this space, it's important to go live because Instagram likes when you go live. And also, it's a great way to connect with followers and show them that you're a real person. I am a real person. I had a mom bun before this. I was wearing a sports bra. And I was like hot and sweaty because it's 100 degrees here in Texas. And so I put my baby down for a nap really quick, put some makeup on, put in my contacts. I like hurt my eye trying to figure that out because I had like an eyelash in my eye or something. So I'm a real person. I had to brush my hair and everything. So anyway, yeah, this is episode 2 for the She Considers a Field podcast. If you didn't know that, it's at the link in my bio. I have another podcast with my husband that helps people with porn addiction because me and my husband have a lot of experience of breakthrough in that area. And that's where digital marketing is not just for selling courses. It is for getting an important message out there. It's about impact. It's about helping others. And yeah, so I'm going to be talking today about kind of another intro episode, but just talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. And the line she considers a field, because that line has always stood out to me. She considers a field and buys it, and with her earnings she plants a vineyard. She makes sure that her earnings are profitable, and God just speaks in sower seed terms. Like, he loves gardening, God does, and he talks about business too. He talks about the word profit. Like, there's a word, there's a verse that's like, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? So it's just funny that God would use that word there. Like, what does it profit us? It doesn't yield us good return on our investment if we put our money into things that would cause us to lose our soul in this life. So anyway, just business nerdy terms with the Bible. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about like balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship, because that's what I've done the past 5 years. Yeah, my daughter just turned 5 in May. So, and once she was born, everything changed, because before that, I got to see what it was like to be a business owner without kids. And then I got to see what it was like with kids. And there was a wall that I hit with her, and that's what I'll cover in the podcast. I'm not going to cover it right now. But, yeah, and then I want to motivate people. I just want to motivate people. I know how hard it is to get motivated. I myself don't identify as much with the Enneagram anymore like I used to, but I've had this question over the years, because anytime you hear on podcasts or self-development things, you always hear people say their Enneagram number, and I would always hear the common numbers that show up are 3s and 8s and sometimes 7s. But I'm like, where's all the other numbers? Where's the 1s? Where's the 5s? Where's the 2s? Where's the 9s? And if you care, I'm a 9, which is the peacemaker. And it's like, those other numbers are the most like people-driven numbers, especially 2s and 9s. We're people-driven, so we don't so much put ourselves out there, whereas 8s are outspoken. They're challengers to common ideas, so I could see how they would be motivated to put themselves out there. And then 3s are the achievers, so they are motivated to put themselves out there and really like show off, not in a bad way, sometimes in a bad way. 3s deal with like vanity issues, but anyway, I'm just saying, I've always found that interesting that like with the Enneagram, there's certain numbers that show up and there's certain numbers that don't. And my motivation is to get other numbers to show up. I'll show up for other people. I'm very people pleaser motivated like that, but it's hard to show up for yourself. It's hard to show up for someone like you and like help people in your shoes, because you have the same weaknesses and struggles and you have a key that could unlock them. Whereas like when a 3 talks, they're so driven by metrics and vanity things that I think that self-propels them. But I'm not as motivated by that. I'm motivated by like helping people deeply. That's why the porn podcast, like helping people with porn addiction, is so meaningful to me and my husband. But it's like, whatever I do, it's got to have a deep, deep meaning. And so with digital marketing, it's not just the pie in the sky vanity, make money stuff. For me, it's very much like, are you stuck with providing for your family? Are you just like desperate for change? Are you sick of trading time for money? Like, it sounds like an infomercial, but seriously, I was hitting a wall with that after 2021 when I miscarried. Because, man, I'm going to cover this in the podcast too. You know what? I'll cover a little bit on the live. I'll tease you guys here and then head over to the podcast to hear the rest of the story. But, by the way, I'm alive. I can stop because over here I can edit. But here I have to stop because my daughter's in there. What do you need, bub?
I really want some.
I can make you a snack here in a sec. Okay, I'll stop this in like 1 minute. Okay, I'll be right there.
Well, I want some chocolate chips.
I don't know. Something healthy with that, maybe. Okay, so yeah, a main motivation for me in 2021 after miscarrying was that I ended up in the hospital with an emergency D&C, and I had a wedding to shoot 2 days later. And up until that point, I had been so strong and like able to show up for every single event that I'd ever had, because I'd been in business from 2016 to 2021 up until that point, and I had booked every single thing, showed up for every single thing. And if you know, weddings take grit. Like, weddings are 10 hours on your feet, sometimes 12-hour, 14-hour days, depending on if you're driving to a destination or not. And so I'd shown up and I did the dang thing all these years. And you're carrying gear, you're sweating, you're like working in a fast-paced environment with high-end people and clients. And then when that miscarriage came and put me in the hospital, I was like, oh my gosh, like, who's gonna shoot this wedding for me? Nobody. Like, I have to do it. And I could have hired somebody, but I just take my brand with my weddings very seriously, I guess. And I think it's a good thing because it sustained me for so long. I treat it like a very important position, and it pays me like an important position. And so I remember coming out of the anesthesia after the surgery. First of all, it's emotionally sad, of course, but then it's physically taxing. And I opened my eyes out of the anesthesia and I asked the tech who was like next to me, I could just kind of see their outline. And I was like, hey, I have to shoot a wedding in 2 days. And it was summertime when this happened, so it was going to be at least a 95-degree day. And I was like, do you think I can do it? And the tech goes, oh, honey, I don't know. And I know she was just like, this girl's delusional coming out of anesthesia, but I was dead freaking serious. I had a wedding to shoot. And so I shot that wedding, and it was rough. It was rough because I reacted to the anesthesia with like a major migraine, and it just, all of that, painting a very real picture to say that moment showed me that I needed to pivot somewhere along the way to something that wasn't so demanding of me, that wasn't so proprietary. In business, there's a term called like being proprietary, like on Shark Tank. If you hear them tell business owners like there's nothing proprietary about this, it's a diss because it's saying like there's nothing special about this. But as a wedding videographer, you are extremely proprietary. Like, what you offer is, they hired you, they don't want somebody else. If they get somebody else, they feel gypped. So when you show up, it better be you. It better be the person behind the brand with all the creative talent that they hired. And so, yeah, I learned a lot after that. And I was like, okay, God, thank you for this business, because he fully blessed me with this talent and this business. Never went to school for any of this stuff. It's just been a natural talent that's carried me through, natural ability with people. But I needed something to serve my family better, to not leave my kids so often, because I shot 40 weddings in 2021, and oh man, that was rough. That was a lot of work, and I got super burnt out, and I had a bad taste in my mouth after that with weddings. And I still shoot to this day. I just shot a wedding this past week. I have 3 weddings in July, and I'm so thankful for that income. It's really great income, but it's not scalable. And so that's where I just want to help the person in that desperate place that is like, I need something to work from home. I need something that I can show up for and make a grilled cheese in between, and put a baby down for a nap in between, and run an errand or go grab groceries, or whatever you have to do within the home. There's so many responsibilities in the home. Yeah, that's where digital marketing came in for me. And I bought the course last year Digital Wealth Academy. If you've heard of that, here, I'll just tell you my offers really quick. Yeah, I have Digital Wealth Academy, and I have Kingdom Coaching. I have Small Following, Big Influence, which is a little ebook that is helping me right now to grow my reach. And yeah, with Digital Wealth Academy, that was something that I felt like I didn't super align with at first, but then whenever I got it and it morphed into what it is now, if you know the creator Rachel, she had to change it from Learn and Earn Profits to the roadmap to what it is now, which is DWA. And now I feel like it's truly something that I can align with and help other people with. And so that's one of my offers, Digital Wealth Academy. But then Kingdom Coaching is another one that is just super important to me, in that it's a kingdom brand. It's something that has kingdom all over it. There's prayer meetings in it. People are not shy about the Lord in there, and that's something that I won't be shy about. That's something that has carried me through 9 years of business. It's carried me through 15 years of my testimony. I got saved at 16. And yeah, just so many places of my life are too saturated with the Lord to leave him out of business. And that's where this podcast comes in. She considers a field and buys it. And that verse has just always been meaningful to me. And that's what this podcast is about. It's time for a holistic approach to business. It's not just something that is, just girl bossy. It's not all girl bossy sometimes. Like sometimes you are healing postpartum and you're editing, or you're showing up for a client while your baby is screaming in the background and you have to mute it like so that they can talk. Or you're holding a kid while you're talking to clients. It's a weird juxtaposition, at least I found over the years. So if you guys are interested, head on over to the podcast. I will drop it tomorrow, I believe. It's pretty quick for me to edit these things. And then also, so many people want to get into podcasting, but they don't know where to start. And that's something that I have in the works to help people. Obviously, like I've had people ask about this mic, and I have it linked in my YouTube channel. Like if you go to the link in my bio and you watch the podcast, down in the description is the gear that I use. So if you're interested in any of that, you can find it there. It's very affordable. I'm a reasonable person. I don't like to overspend on things. And I've run a business for years and years and years with quality gear that hasn't just totally eaten up my bank account. If anything, my gear has paid for itself, at least 100 times over, because you buy it once and you use it over and over and over again. So anyways, you guys, if you're interested, head over to the She Considers a Field podcast. I would love for you to join me over there and let me know if you came from this Instagram live. That would be interesting. I'm still figuring out Instagram. Instagram is weird for me. I'm more of a YouTube videographer type, so this short form stuff is a little uncomfortable for me, but it's good to do uncomfortable things. So I'm going to cover all these notes in the podcast, and I will see you guys over there. Bye. Where's the off button?